Hello, my Loop friends. It's Alex. Welcome back to Live Loopers. All you new subscribers, welcome. Thank you. Welcome to the party. This video is going to be about a few apps, audio units that I think can absolutely supercharge your live looping experience here in Loopy Pro. This video comes out in conjunction with the new template that we're releasing on liveloopers.com, which is the Power Plus template. But whether you use the template or not, if you're using Loopy Pro, you can probably benefit by learning about these apps. Some months back, I made this brainstorming video about Loopy Pro and some things that I thought, might be able to help Loopy Pro's future. If you have not watched this video, don't bother. It's not great. But I will say that it's a good idea to brainstorm. Brainstorming can only move us forward, really. But those ideas mostly fell into two categories, which is things that I could have figured out that Loopy Pro already can do if I would have looked a little harder, and two is things that Loopy Pro can't do that it would be great to do, but that probably should not be done in Loopy Pro because you don't want to make the code base bigger. I mean, Loopy Pro is all lightweight and maneuverable, and you don't want to just be adding a whole bunch of things that might not necessarily have to do with music making. Things probably should be doable in like some kind of external audio unit rather than adding it to Loopy Pro, because the use case, there's not that many people that necessarily need all these things that I need. One such case in point, I went on the iPad music makers Facebook thing. There's a place, and it's good. People know things and they talk, and like you can ask a question. The question that I asked was, hey, does anybody know of any kind of a way that in some kind of audio unit or something, like without leaving my audio environment, can I like write some notes down or see, just write something so that I have it there? And the answer was yes, there is such a thing. And that such a thing is called session notes. Oh my goodness, do I love session notes. Yes, it is my sweet sheet. It's not a cheat sheet because it's not cheating to have reminders. Reminders are good. And I will be performing all the time, and I'll have 1,000 things on my mind, and I'm trying to coordinate all these different variables. And sometimes I'll be at a situation, I'll be like, okay, and now what beat do I want to use? And then I just end up using Boots and Cats. If you don't know Boots and Cats means just like, you just end up using that beat over and over again because I just can't think in time because there's just so many things I'm trying to think of. And so now, look at this. This is session notes. You don't have to worry too much about what's in my session notes because it's what I need to remember. You can put what you need to remember in your session notes, but the point is, there's session notes. It exists, and it's a wonderful thing. When I first discovered that it exists, I just sort of tucked it away here on the D screen, figuring I'll find a nice obtrusive place where I have some space, and I just put it over here with the, just a little notes button. But then I ended up using it so often, I use it so much that I ended up like, no, I need to find a place for it on the A screen and on the B screen. So the way it works is that you plug it in as an effect. So let me go to the mixer screen, and you can put it in as an effect on anything. Why is it as an effect? Because it just had to go somewhere. I mean, it doesn't really generate sound or affect the sound, so just got to go somewhere. But you plug it in as an effect, and then I make a button to pop it up and down, and then life is good from there on out. Just as an example, I have a whole bunch of different drum beats, things that just remind me to break out of that Boots and Cats. These words may not mean anything to you, but to me, like, I'm seeing different drum beats, and so I can just like, oh yeah, that's a good one, and then I'll just use that, and it varies up my foundation, and then I build a more interesting song on top of it because I have a more interesting foundation, and session notes is great. This is another thing I use session notes for. I have a tempo list. Like if I make a beat and the song ends up, the BPMs that it spits back is like somewhat different than what I'm expecting or something, or just the mood, like I want to do a different song, I just pop this open and I'm like, oh yeah, what songs do I have in that tempo range? And wow, very, very easy, convenient, session notes. It cost $3. Very, very worth it to me. The other thing that I said in that video back when, the brainstorming thing, was that I am not good at figuring out how I am going to add actual effects. Like, I want some kind of nice Swiss Army knife of battle axes. What do I mean? Like, I want just one effects package. I don't need like 80,000 different audio units that I want to juggle. I'm just trying to add, you know, one or two that can do like a variety of different things. I've been having trouble finding that, and I've been having trouble just figuring out effects in general in Loopy Pro and what I'm going to do with them. And so I have finally settled on two different effects packages that I use that are easy enough that even I can use them, and that are versatile enough that they do a bunch of different things. The way that I have them implemented in my Power Plus template is that I just have them on the D screen and on the C screen. And on the D screen, I just have 4 different instances for the 4 different color groups of Audio Rack. Audio Rack is an old familiar friend. I used to use it in my old setup. It has an audio unit that just works beautifully, so I can just bring it into my new setup. It has a lot of really nice and interesting preset effects, which makes it very easy for me. And I just go in and find a nice preset that I want, and then apply that to that color, and just leave it at that. It's cool. So this is an effect that's in Voice Rack that's called Dotted Eighth Echo, and I just apply that on the blue channel, and then whenever I want to add that beautiful little delay echo kind of a thing, I just press the blue button and it turns on, and then every loop that's in the light blues has that effect applied to it. Easy peasy, done. So sweet. And the third audio unit is another effects package which I have added on the C screen, which I have been on the high wire sort of tap dancing all along, trying to figure out, am I going to add this thing or am I not going to add this thing? And I finally decided, yes, I'll do it. My concern all along is just when I open up, it's Tornado, and when I open Tornado, it just doesn't really look easy to me. It looks a little chaotic and like, oh my goodness, all this stuff, and it took me a while to dig through and figure out what sounds alike and how to even, you know, it was a bit of a learning curve, more so than I would have wanted. But in the end, what it all came down to is it is the way that I have finally been able to get my beat repeat back. And anybody who's, you know, had a long-term love relationship with an RC505, you know, beat repeat is just, it's the sweet spot. It's kind of what you love, because, you know, it's loop music, and loop music, you know, can get a little bit predictable sounding on the ears, you know, after a while, and beat repeat just sort of lets you throw in a like, oh, you know, and it just sort of refreshes the ear and brings people's attention back. And so I wanted it, and the way I can get it inside of Loopy Pro is that Tornado has a sort of a beat repeat effect. The price on Voice Rack Live is $5, which seems quite reasonable for what it does. Sounds great. I recommend getting it. Tornado, I don't know what it cost when I bought it, but presently it is on the App Store for $25. That's a lot of money to me, but a lot of people consider it to be extremely worth it, so it's up to you. You do what you want. So yeah, those are some apps that I think they can really add and enhance what you're doing in your Loopy Pro, and give you a whole lot more options and provide a whole lot of fun. I hope that helps you. This is Live Loopers. I'm Alex. appreciate you checking out the video here. Like it if you liked it. And yeah, loop on. Loop on!